fool! You've doomed us all!
We were already doomed. A quick death now or a slow one later. I'd rather die fighting.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking over the times across gaming where a character, in some form or another, radically deviated from their established personality in a jarring way.
Burn it. Burn it!
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Jill Valentine, Resident Evil 5.
We're in.
Let's move.
She's the beastly operative who took on the likes of Nemesis and Wesker, one of Stars' best who survived the Spencer Mansion. Nobody messes with Jill's sandwich. At least until RE5, where through the power of science, Jill was brainwashed into becoming Wesker's henchwoman. Yep, all because of that weird device attached to her chest, Jill went from one of the faces of the franchise to a blonde in a skin-tight bodysuit who can now pull off Matrix moves. The saddest part? Her character hasn't recovered from this misstep. The closest thing we've gotten was getting to relive her glory days in the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Chris. I'm so sorry.
Penelope, Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time.
Why, thank you, Gallus. I've been looking all over for that.
Outside of the ridiculous load times, the biggest rug pull this fourth mainline entry threw our way was what they did to Penelope. Sure, she wasn't main character material, but throughout Sly 3 she became a fun and valuable member of the gang, not only offering tech support, but even striking up a potentially romantic relationship with Bentley.
You can do other stuff. Sly can't rewire a satellite or write ASCII code.
Sly can't even spell ASCII.
So, all's well that ends well, right? Apparently not. Since one game later, Penelope is easily looped into betraying the team and becoming a career criminal, purely motivated by money, which seems so unnecessary. R.I.P. Bentley's love life.
We don't have to do it like this!
Oh, I think we do. It's time to cut some strings for good.
Master Chief, Halo 5, Guardians.
Cortana's our concern now, sir.
Like hell she is.
The Chief being gun-ho about recovering Cortana and not letting anyone get in his way? That's pretty on brand for the Spartan. No notes needed. The problems start to arise when Locke enters the picture, the deuteragonist who spends most of the game hunting the Chief down on account of him going AWOL. Something he nearly accomplishes, since Halo 5 drastically reduces Master Chief's combat prowess. Watching him trade fisticuffs with Locke is painful to watch. The marketing didn't help either, since all the way leading up to the game's release, they painted the Chief as gone to the dark side and a threat to humanity. Jeez, Guardians really dropped the ball with this one.
But now I must save us. From you.
Joel, The Last of Us, Part 2.
Y'all act like you heard of us or something.
Because they have.
Whether you think Joel's decision to murder the Fireflies to save Ellie's life, and as a consequence potentially destroy humanity's hopes for a cure, were justified or not, such bloodthirsty actions felt very much true to his character. A bitter man who refused to let the world take away another daughter.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital.
We knew there would be consequences in the sequel, and we couldn't wait to experience them. At least until Joel was killed off in the opening hours, caught completely unaware. Joel not surviving Part 2 felt like an inevitability, but the way it was handled had an air of cheapness about it, especially when the rest of his and Ellie's development are told through flashbacks.
You don't get to rush this.
Viconia DeVere, Baldur's Gate 3.
My name?
Mother Superior. Viconia DeVere.
You still have the wits to recognize your betters.
We know, and we agree. Baldur's Gate 3 is a masterpiece whose writing and characters raise the bar for the entire industry. That hasn't changed one iota. There are, however, a few die-hard fans of the original Baldur's Gate games out there who might feel a little miffed about the portrayal of a certain drow. For those who don't know, Viconia DeVere was a companion and possible romance back in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Her unwillingness to kill innocents in the name of her former goddess gave her some nuance. So for her to become a heartless Mother Superior willing to kill Shadowheart, the girl she both kidnapped and raised, out of pure spite, felt like a step backwards.
I must keep her faith alive in mortal hearts. I must defend her ways, lead her children, stop all threats.
Frank West, Dead Rising 4.
I'm a reporter, Vic. That's what I do. I report. And if you can't do the same, if you can't take yourself out of the picture, then you should get the hell out of here.
Fans who had been praying for another installment in this zombie-killing saga, as well as the return of its original protagonist, were given one hell of a rude awakening when Dead Rising 4 turned out to be nothing more than a fat lump of coal. A radical change in appearance is one thing, but what really got everyone's goat was that Frank's personality got a transplant.
What I'm doing.
And I'm not torturing a woman for a quote while a bunch of trigger-happy jarheads guard the door. I'm not doing that either.
That's not what I'm here.
Shut up!
Gone was the endearingly hard-boiled reporter taking on the ridiculousness of an undead insurgent. Now, he's just some obnoxious, jaded wannabe tough guy. There's a reason long-term fans started calling him Hank East.
Took my story, and now you've blown up my favorite camera. So be it. Frank West was the zombie lord.
Yuna, Final Fantasy X-2. There's so much to love about Yuna in Final Fantasy X. She's burdened by enormous responsibility, constantly sacrifices her own happiness and safety for the sake of her people, and somehow finds a way to hold on to hope, even in the midst of her doomed romance with Tidus. So after all that, what direction does her life take? She becomes a pop star. A pop star. Look, Yuna deserves all the joy in the world after what she's been through, but to go from a high summoner to a stadium seller like she's Spira's version of Taylor Swift just feels jarring on every conceivable level. Alex Mercer, Prototype 2.
The virus goes too, right? All of it. It's in the plan.
Granted, this walking bioweapon wasn't exactly the deepest of characters. He was an amnesiac-driven edgelord chasing down a government conspiracy and taking out anyone who got in his way. He was ruthless, but in his quiet moments seemed like a decent sort. Definitely not the kind of guy who would trigger a man-made plague in an effort to destroy and remake humanity. Alas, that's the direction they went with in the sequel.
Humanity is stagnant, dying. I would give it one body, one mind.
After the first game ended with the wacky twist of Mercer being evil all along, Prototype 2 turned him into a boring, bland bad guy without a shred of intrigue. That's Prototype 2 in a nutshell.
So now the only thing standing between me and Earth's true destiny is you.
Dante, DMC, Devil May Cry.
Shit, back in limbo. Bad day for a hangover.
Time has certainly afforded this reinvention of the classic Devil May Cry story the chance to build a cult following, mainly due to its combat, weapon choice, and the willingness to try something different. That being said, everyone stands in agreement that this new take on Dante didn't work at all.
We make quite the team. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better looking.
Instead of a cocky, pizza-loving badass who hides any pain with jokes and effortless charm, Ninja Theory's version of Dante comes across as whiny, try-hard, and lacking the fun associated with his namesake. More cringe than cool. We applaud them for taking a risk, but there wasn't a hope in hell this guy was going to overshadow the original Son of Sparta.
Not in a million years.
Samus Aran, Metroid, Other M.
I had been reliving the tragic moments of my recent past. Thanks to the hyper beam, which was given to me somehow by the baby,
She's one of the most recognizable and beloved characters under the Nintendo banner, not to mention one of the first examples of a leading female character in gaming. Sure, she's never been one for words, but when roaming the galaxy taking down alien pirates, a hyper beam speaks louder. Other M wanted to dive deeper, explore the woman beneath the armor, and bring a tad more characterization to Samus. On paper, it's not a bad idea. In execution, holy mother brain was it a disaster.
I wondered if this too was a result of the power the baby gave me.
Other M's seem to confuse vulnerability for submissiveness. Samus not only gets bossed around, but left shaking in her boots whenever she encounters an enemy. Hey guy, Samus may be something of a blank canvas in terms of emotionality, but if there's one thing that's been absolute since her inception, she strikes fear into the hearts of her enemies, not the other way around.
And for the first time, I gave him a thumbs up. Just in case he was watching over me.
Which video game character do you think was done the dirtiest? Let us know in the comments.